welcome in to the Phoenix Sports Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm your host, Makayla Perkins, and joining me today for a very special show is Derek Montilla, Anthony Totri, and Espo. We also got Leah behind the Mac. She'll pop in a little to say hello. What's up, everybody? How is this a rainy Wednesday treating you?
Oh, I love rainy days in Phoenix. We don't get enough of them.
Yeah?
Aside from the traffic sucking, everything else is
I don't know
good.
what it is about the rain, but when it rains, everybody in this entire state forgets how to drive.
That's
fair.
It's the tale as old as time when it comes to Phoenix.
It's atrocious.
We don't know what to do when it happens. It's just like we're just so excited stuff's falling from the sky.
How many things that you do twice a year do you do real proficiently?
That's a good point.
Okay, this is true. This is true. Hopefully you guys are not listening to this while you're driving while it's raining outside, because if you are, God help us all.
I actually prefer that they do listen, because that's how we make our money. So please continue to listen. We appreciate it.
Just make sure you're paying attention to the road if you're listening to this in your car. Just a reminder, if you're watching this on Twitter, head on over to YouTube. Join us in the chat. If you're in the chat on YouTube right now, leave us a hey, hello, say hi, what's up. We love to include you in the show. It's my favorite part of the show when you guys chat along with us. So if you are in the chat, say hi. We will make sure to put your comment up. Let's get started really quickly with our Valley Sports temperature check. There hasn't been a lot going on in Arizona sports recently. The Suns are on a bit of an all-star break, so the Suns have been MIA. They'll be back on Thursday. Heading into the all-star break, though, they had the best record in the NBA. They still do. I think they had the best record all time of any team heading into the all-star break. Don't quote me on that. From a Suns team, yes.
Perspective, not in the NBA, but yeah.
Espo, you're pretty much still riding the Suns are the best team in the NBA train, I'm assuming.
They are. That's factual.
It's not a train. Yeah, it's just a fact.
It's just fact. I mean, let's be honest. I'm just stating fact there. It is a little less warm than it had been, though. We were at Muy Caliente. We're now just at Caliente.
And that's because, obviously, Chris Paul is injured. He's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Espo, what are your thoughts on this? I know you guys talked extensively about this on the PHNX Suns podcast, so if you missed that, go check it out. They talked to a doctor and everything. They give you a full breakdown of his injury. But, Espo, what are your overall thoughts on Chris Paul missing some games?
Yeah, we talked to a doctor. Had nothing to do about Chris Paul, though. We all had our own. No, look, is it ideal? Hell no. Is it the end of the world? No. 24 games left. You have a 6.5 game lead over the Warriors for the best record in the West, an even larger lead over Eastern Conference teams for the best record in the league. I'm not overly concerned. What I do think this is opportunity. Mm-hmm. Opportunity for Devin Booker to place himself squarely in the MVP conversation. Opportunity for this team to learn how to win without Chris Paul, which helps them in the playoffs if there's an additional injury, or down the road when Chris Paul isn't here as well. So there's a lot of things that they can learn about themselves in the next 6 to 8 weeks. But if you know Chris Paul, you know he's going to be back for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony, any thoughts on Chris Paul missing some games?
I mean, to your point, and I liked what Devin Booker had to say about it, where he gets to rest his legs, a guy who is just feel like the heart and soul of this team. So yeah, it sucks that he's not going to be there for 6 to 8 weeks, but come playoff time, I think everybody knows that CP3 will be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the weather might not seem like it right now, but it is actually springtime, and spring training would be happening if baseball didn't suck. But here we are. Baseball sucks, and we don't have spring training. But there is some good news. The league and the MLBPA are meeting this entire week to hopefully come up with a deal. If they can reach a deal by February 28th, there should be 4 weeks of spring training starting no earlier than March 5th. Derek, what are your thoughts on this entire situation? I know you guys talked about it on the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast last night, so if you missed that episode, make sure to go check that out. But do you think we're going to get spring training?
I don't. I'm very pessimistic about this situation. I had some optimism until, even when they started meeting like this, where they've been meeting for longer periods of time on consecutive days. They're kind of held up in the same location, so they kind of have no choice but to, hash this out. It just, they're moving further apart on issues instead of closer together. So I'm not very optimistic about this. Now I will say that there's several routes out besides them actually getting a CBA done. So that part makes, me a little hopeful, because Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, can just come out and just end the lockout. They don't actually have to have a new CBA done, agreed to, any of that in order to end the lockout.
How does that work though?
The reason
without
why
a CBA, how do you actually?
Well, it's the same way actually during the strike back in 94, 95. They didn't have a new CBA done. A federal judge got involved and made them go back to work under the current CBA that was in play until the new CBA was negotiated. The big problem here with this lockout is it is a negotiation tactic. It's part of what's going on. They are trying to put pressure on the players to not, to concede on their issues and get this done faster, because there is a penalty here. There is there's things on the line. But as ridiculous as it is, baseball could just end it and continue to negotiate. A federal judge could also intervene and end this as well. I don't know. Just now, after reading everything I've read, people I've talked to, reports I've seen about what this is doing to the Arizona economy, just specifically. I mean, I have no idea what it's doing to Florida, but I imagine there's similar impacts there than there are here. But there are certain towns here that rely on spring training. And that really is the part that's becoming aggravating to me, that they're using this negotiation tactic essentially against the Players Association. But there's more on the line here than just trying to make the players give up on the fights that they're trying to get done, the things they're trying to get done.
So essentially what you're saying is this amounts to when my wife and I argue about where should we go to dinner and neither of us give a place. If one of us just gave a place, it'd be over with.
That's exactly what this is.
Good
right?
to know.
But
God.
the problem is then one of you has to acquiesce and look weak to the other one. And if you were to do that,
I'm fine with that, as long as she tells me where to go to dinner.
Right, as long as we get to the point. Yeah. And that's the exact case here. The owners eat, the players eat, everybody eats, the fans eat. We just get this over with. So can we just decide on a place to eat? For God's sake.
By the way, can we pull the clip of, I'm asking you, Leah, can we pull the clip of Max saying baseball sucks so we can use that in general?
Oh, God.
Thank you.
That's going to come back to haunt me.
Yes,
don't do that, Leah.
Don't do that, Leah. Well, speaking of Leah and running out our temperature check, the Coyotes, they have made some trades. The NHL trade deadline is coming up. Leah, what are your thoughts on these trades? I know they weren't necessarily big names. And then do you expect anything else to happen from the Coyotes? I know Phil Kessel has kind of been brought up in some conversations.
Yeah, so the trades have begun. The trade deadline is just under a month away. Ilya Lyubushkin and Ryan Dzingel were traded to the Leafs for a pick that the Coyotes get to choose which year and which round it's going to be in, basically. And then they also traded goaltender Carter Hutton also to the Leafs for future considerations. So that's all this team's about, is the future, and this is just the beginning. I think we're going to see trades weekly until the trade deadline.
Gotcha. And any update? Do you think Phil Kessel's going to go? Any more big names?
I'm sure Phil Kessel will go. The most interesting thing to watch will be what happens with Jacob Chychrun. His name's been talked about for a few months. At the start of the season, he was always a part of this team's future. Now it's questionable.
He's too good now.
Well, we'll see what happens, but it would be really sad to see him go, but it would be really interesting to see what the return would be, because Bill Armstrong has set the price very, very
high. Do the Coyotes need more picks? They have so many.
Give me all the picks.
Never enough.
Well, then they can package the picks for more trades. I don't know.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, so.
They'll be good in 2030.
I love that
2025.
I love that we've let Leah come in live from the basement that we're holding. The corner of the room when it's lit.
Close the gate back. There you go.
We promise we feed and pay Leah. She's not. She's
go back to the producer's cave.
All right. Well, that was your Valley Sports temperature check. Before we get into today's main topic, I've got to tell you guys about DraftKings Sportsbook. Hoops fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting betting partner of the NBA, is just too good to pass up. I'm talking between the legs 360 windmill good, which was way better than any of the things we saw at the NBA All-Star dunk contest, if you want to call it that. That was atrocious. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's that simple. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also bet on the NBA with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, and best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code PHNX. Bet just $1 on any NBA team to win and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and up only, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. All right. How about we get into today's main topic? May the odds be ever in your favor. It's time for the
I got some great boots in the back.
Yeah, those are some pretty good
I'm rocking those.
Sorry, Espo.
I got like shoulder pads. It kind of I don't know what I'm rocking.
So blue's your color.
It's a poofy arm dress.
It's a poofy dress. Yeah. It's time for the inaugural PHNX Sports Hunger Games. I'm so excited for this for so many reasons.
That's so perfect for this. She loves murder.
I love murder. I love violence. It's my favorite thing ever in this whole episode. Is basically to be
Can we clip that as well, please?
That one I support.
I'm sorry. The FBI is I'm probably on like 8 watch lists by now. Sorry. I'm actually not a murderer, but who knows? Anyways, all right. So this is how it's gonna work. This is how it's gonna work. You guys each represent a district. Derek represents the Diamondbacks district. Totri represents the Cardinals district. Espo represents the Suns district, and Leah, in her producer corner, represents the Coyotes district.
So Leah's District 13 that we think is
gone.
Leah's
District
consideration.
She's under the ground. And you guys have each nominated 2 tributes from your district who you think could actually win the Hunger Games should it happen.
Correct.
And we're going to go through each of your tributes, and you're going to make a case to me because I am in charge of the Hunger Games. I'm the game maker this year, and you're going to plead your case to me as to why you think your 2 tributes would win the Hunger Games. I think we should start with Derek and the Diamondbacks tributes. So, Derek, why don't you break down your first tribute for us?
This is a no-brainer for me. I instantly knew the minute you brought up this topic exactly who I was going to pick. There was honorable mention to Caleb Smith because I think he would really enjoy the murdering. But my first pick was the best selection, and obviously the winner here. It's MADISON Bumgarner is who it is. So let's take a look here at his breakdown. MADISON Bumgarner's strengths, hunting skills already, right? I know there's a lot of guys that have hunting skills, but there's a difference here because not only is he a hunter, but as we know, he's also a cowboy, a well-known rodeo cowboy that goes by Mason Saunders. So he has experience not only with weapons, but with ropes and riding animals. Who knows what the situation is going to be in this particular Hunger Games? But
what weirdness is going on?
I'm telling you, first of all, you can take that how you want, but he can make a rope from whatever, and then he could also make it into a lasso. Can any of your guys do that? I don't think so. So good luck with him once you run out of the weapons. Also, very secretive, so we have no idea what he can really do. Right? He has one alter ego that we know of, but that's
there could be more. Are you saying there's more alter egos?
Are you saying there's not? How do I know that? I mean, this is a man that his alter ego was discovered, and I'm sure he wasn't too happy about that. Now, again, the hunting skills, that's another thing. This is a guy that takes hunting to a different level. I see him just for a fun weekend. I see him painting himself in full camouflage from head to toe. And
just for enjoyment?
Yeah, just hunting down like deer with his bare hands, like no weapons at all. So again, show me who else has those skills. Weaknesses, obviously he's getting up there in age. The other thing, you never know when he's going to actually want to participate. So he could just flat out refuse. And that wouldn't surprise me one bit. And that's
how
your
do
winner.
You not have throwing skills on his list of strengths?
That's
what he's paid to do.
Throwing skills are there. Those are obvious. Come on, obvious. And I don't know. Diminishing. I might put that on the weaknesses. I might say diminishing.
What
throwing
would his
skills.
weapon of choice be? Like a spear? that he could toss? You know?
No. I'm definitely going with a lasso. I think he
Okay.
could do like
Bumgarner and
Rambo-like
lasso.
stuff with a lasso.
All right, who is your second tribute from the Diamondbacks?
Second
district?
tribute is Josh Rojas. Josh Rojas is obviously a very scrappy player, and I think that he would be an underdog favorite for this situation. Very fast, so he has the speed, ability to get inside his opponent's head. I've seen him start fights with an opposing pitcher just by jawing at them from first base because the Diamondbacks weren't doing anything good against them, and he was trying to get something going. That's a desire to win that not everybody has, right? So he's willing to do whatever it takes to win, and that's the exact kind of attitude you need to have going into a Hunger Games. Weaknesses, again, headstrong, maybe too much, too full of himself a little bit there. Gotta be humble a little bit, and obviously lack of murder experience, right?
How do you know this?
Well, I mean, again, much like yourself, I do not know this. So I can't guarantee that he has a lack of murder experience. He just doesn't seem like that he has that skill yet.
I would hope that would be a weakness on most of these lists.
No,
Yeah,
well,
I was gonna
murder.
say,
You
I
never
think we
know,
can apply
though.
this to many people, except maybe the hockey players. I don't know. Sometimes they give off murder vibes.
Wow.
All right.
Sorry, Coyotes.
Sorry, Coyotes players.
I mean,
Well,
from
the
they
producer
hurt
corner.
people for a living.
They run around on weapons, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, right.
It's true.
That's
This
the
is-
game is played on
This
weapons.
is true.
Yeah, Max in the comments saying, "Are you saying that other people have an abundance of murder
I
experience?"
am saying at least Madison Bumgarner does, is what I'm saying.
All right, those were our two tributes from the Diamondbacks district. If you're in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are. If you think those Diamondbacks tributes could win, if you don't think that they can, and let's move right along to the Suns tributes.
Oh,
Espo, you had to pick two Suns players that you think could win the Hunger Games. Break down your first pick for us.
Look, there's one obvious choice here. Chris Paul is the kind of guy that he's ruthless. We know that.
It's true.
He's cunning. He thinks of every way that he can get an advantage against his opponents. He sits there and stews about that as a basketball player. He's vegan, so he's used to not eating much.
That's a great
right?
one. That's a
So-
that's a good one.
I didn't
So
even
like
know that.
the actual hunger isn't going to get in his head.
Right.
you know?
Oh my
The
Like,
actual
God.
hunger
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
Hunger
yeah.
Games.
plus-
Hey, that's a factor. That is a factor. This game lasts a pretty long time.
Exactly. And then the rip through, right? He does the rip through move in basketball. Imagine that with a weapon. He's already prepared to take advantage of things. Weaknesses, he is injury prone, all right? So he could get hurt out there,
Yeah,
and
that
then
that's
he's
a
in
thumbs up
trouble.
issue.
He's older, I mean, which is weird. He's younger than me, but he's older in the sense of this, and he's never won the big one.
Oh,
So what'll
dude.
happen is he's likely going to come down to the last two or three and then get killed.
Oh,
So-
man, that's so
Can
depressing.
he get ejected? Can you get ejected from the Hunger Games?
I don't think so.
No.
Well-
death
Oh.
is ejection.
Yeah.
I mean, technically.
It's the
so-
ultimate ejection.
Yeah. So I think Chris has a pretty good chance here.
He's vegan, so yeah, we're clipping that for sure. That'll go in the archives. All right, so who is your second tribute?
This one may come as a surprise because people won't think of him in this way, but Mikal Bridges is my second
Love
pick.
the photo.
Right?
Yeah, it's a good photo.
Unassuming, which is to your advantage, right? You can make some alliances early on that keep you around. He's likable, which helps with that as well. And he knows how to defend, right?
Yeah.
So the man, he's going to come through. Plus, look at that photo, right?
Yeah.
He's
Like,
got
you're-
the.
Who would want to hurt
You're
that?
giving
man?
me reasons to partner up with him.
Exactly.
That's what you're
100%.
doing.
Yes.
Like, you're giving me all the reasons to partner
But
up with him.
also, that picture, it's crazy eyes, too.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit,
pretty
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so
that's
you don't
true.
know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, he is inexperienced, so that's a weakness. Sometimes not aggressive enough.
Sure.
And he loves deeply, right?
Oh, man.
I-
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
if
rough.
he had,
Loves deeply.
if it came down to he had to kill Cam Johnson or he had to lose and lose his own life,
Yeah.
Lose.
he'd sacrifice
You
himself.
think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah,
Oh,
he would.
yes.
100%.
He
Sacrifice
would.
himself for
Absolutely.
Cam?
He would.
Absolutely.
Aw.
And that's something that is a big
It's a
weakness.
big
in this.
weakness.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
because
never
he
he's
may-
never going to be the champ with
No,
that.
he may make an alliance and then kind of not want to go through with everything. But Katniss kind of did the same thing. So,
Yeah.
That's
you
true.
know,
Yeah.
Look, so maybe he just destroys
Maybe
the
Mikal
whole
Bridges
gang.
is Katniss
Yeah.
Everdeen.
Is Mikal? Wow. He's the main character in this movie.
Mind
crazy.
blown.
I will say, if I was in the Hunger Games, I don't think I could kill Mikal. He's just too kind and too nice. I don't think there's any shot. I couldn't bring myself to do
He's-
it.
I don't believe
He's
you.
the first one.
I don't believe you at all.
Yeah.
Mac apparently doesn't like murder.
Yeah,
of
no,
course.
yeah.
I only like to murder people strategically based
What?
on how I
See,
Yeah.
I only,
Mac,
Wait a second.
I
Hold
only
on.
like to murder people.
I would
stra-
like to murder people
You
strategically.
didn't add
if
wood
I
did.
first.
Wood.
Did you
You
say
If
said
I
wood?
did, if I did.
Look, I love how this
Mm.
show is slowly morphing into a murder
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, right.
Like,
100%.
it's like one of those real crime.
To Mac a murderer is what it is.
Wow.
Wow,
Mac
that's
is definitely somebody that you would
incredible.
like. She would form an alliance and then kill you when it was convenient for her.
Yes,
Absolutely.
only if it works for me will it happen.
That's a
You're
great
alive
point.
because I let you live.
That is a great point. Cheerson, hi. What is happening? Cheerson, you should stay. You should stick around for the rest of
No,
the show.
don't
because-
run, Kirsten.
Not to give it away,
Run.
but
That's what she always tells her prey. Run far away.
Okay, those are the two tributes from the Suns district.
God.
I think they're great nominations. Espo made a great case. Let's move on to the Cardinals district. Anthony,
Oh,
who
man.
would you nominate from the Cardinals district to compete in the Arizona Hunger Games?
I had a lot of options here.
Yeah.
I feel like a heavy favorite would have been Kyler. Super small, can blend in easily. I feel like with like all the bugs and smaller animals in the Hunger Games. But I feel like a slept-on guy here, AJ Green. Hear me out.
Okay,
He's
okay.
been in worse situations. Cincinnati playing under Andy Dalton or with Andy Dalton. That's about as bad as it gets.
All right, all right.
Right.
Wow.
So he's proven to be able to survive for a long period of time in horrendous situations. When you need a guy, I feel like he's got the clutch gene.
No.
I feel like
No.
if you
No.
need it, I feel
Did
like
you not watch the Green
Did
Bay
you?
Packers
I
game?
did.
Were you present in
Sometimes
season?
forgets to play is a weakness. Okay. Sometimes he forgets the
Okay,
situation.
that's all right. That's
But
there.
at times, I feel like if you need a guy to come up big, I'm not saying this is going to be the guy that is the last man standing for the Cardinals too, but I feel like he could definitely help the next guy get there, which is where I'm at. I think he's the sacrifice to get them to the final
this
team.
isn't a NASCAR team. You're not trying to.
What is this?
Hey, a little shake and bake never hurt nobody.
One guy's not just
Okay.
sacrificing himself
Okay.
for
Quick,
the
get
other one to
behind you.
win.
You can catch my drift, and then you can win the Hunger Games.
He's a little washed up. Okay, he's a little washed up, but I think he's going to play enough of a supportive role to the real heavy favorite here.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
He's a little washed up. He's
Yeah.
fully in the bathtub, just trying to keep his nose above the water.
JJ Watt. That's
Speaking of
all I
washed
gotta
up,
say.
no,
JJ Watt, I feel like he
That's a
comes
heavy
into this
favorite.
as the fan
Yeah,
favorite, right?
yeah.
First off, he's half robot.
Well, you just can't kill him.
He's
You
pretty
can't
much
injure him,
pretty
so you
much
can't
a
kill him.
cyborg
Yeah.
at this point. He's
Right.
massive.
Right.
Like I feel like he doesn't even really need a weapon. He reminds me of what's it called? The Game of Thrones, the ginormous dude in Game of Thrones. That's the role that he
The
would play.
mountain?
Yeah.
Mountain.
He's just pure strength at this point. And he's got so much experience. Like he has been, again, another guy who survived a horrible situation in Houston, made it out of that to Arizona, to greener pastures. Also, on his weaknesses, he is also half robot. That goes along with his strengths. I feel like that could get sticky at times, especially depending on how long the Arizona Hunger Games go. And if Mac is in charge, then probably forever. He is quite injury prone, which could prove to be a problem. And similar to CP3, he's never been able to finally make that big one. But I feel like that's what AJ Green is there for, to help push him. AJ Green is going to help push JJ Watt to
What
be
if
in that
JJ
final
Watt and
spot.
AJ Green make a strategy to like win, and then AJ Green just forgets the strategy and leaves?
That is
JJ
also
on
a
his
likely
own.
that is a likely scenario, but I'm gonna go with
And then they both get
I
murdered.
believe
Matt
in
Huff
him.
in the comments saying forgets to get the bow and arrow from the cornucopia at the start of the game.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
AJ Green.
100%. 100%.
Runs away fast.
Half robot is on both sides. It is a strength and a weakness. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
I feel like
for sure.
Steve Keim should have been on that list because that man doesn't seem like he can do anything.
He's
that-
untouchable.
That ends him. He's untouchable.
There wasn't. I don't feel like there was enough murder experience from you guys on your selections. That's just my personal.
experience.
Yeah, like
Murder
again,
experience.
JJ, you count JJ Watt murdering opposing quarterbacks? Does that count?
That does count. That's, I'll take it. I'll take
Jacob
it.
in the comments saying it was a miss not having James Conner as a tribute.
No. Oof.
Yeah, that's
don't know
fair.
how-
And Frank, I couldn't do Buddha. Like
Frank saying Buda Baker. Yep. Crazy.
the concussion, I feel like
Perfect
like it would hurt him.
hard-nosed,
Perfect
perfect
I feel like it would hurt him.
You went with AJ Green though.
Hey, slept on decision.
Bees in the comments saying the Arizona desert is definitely known for greener pastures.
But Look, if we were picking all-time Cardinals, Frank would have been a great.
Yeah,
Frank's
Frank would
great.
have been.
Played on and off.
And
the
Fitz.
field,
Not
is
to
what
give
I
it
hear.
away.
Frank and Fitz.
Yeah.
Not
would
to
be
give it
great.
away, but Frank is a PHNX employee, and we may or may not be choosing our tributes from the PHNX staff a little bit later, so keep that in mind.
She wants to murder us all.
Yeah, that's all
I
that's-
literally
Send
fixed
help.
us
Taking
about
it too
murdering
close to
my
home.
coworkers.
Send
I'm
help.
just kidding. All right. Those are the tributes for the Cardinals district. Rounding us out with the Coyotes district is Leah and her 2 choices for tributes. Leah, who did you go with?
All right, this one's fun because hockey players are already naturally violent, I would say.
Yes.
So
fair.
my first tribute is going to be LAWSON CROUSE. He is 6'4", big guy. Look at this photo. He's
Look at
literally,
that guy. Look at him. He's killing
literally-
someone in the photo.
yeah, he's literally punching someone. So his strengths, punches people
Large
for a
human.
living.
Oh, man.
Last year he led the team in penalty minutes, so he's out there, doing what it takes, and he's just a large human. So.
Yeah.
Weaknesses, softy on the inside. He is the father of Butter Pig Krause, and he is a devoted dog dad.
Crowd favorite,
Yes.
by the way.
Butterpig.
Butterpig Krause.
Yes.
That's an
Yeah.
actual
Was-
dog.
Fan
Butter
favorite.
Pig
Yeah,
Krause.
He
that's
was
favorite.
on
Butterpig
the
is an icon.
yes, and
Yeah,
he was on the
he's-
PHNX Coyotes show last week. So if you missed that, check that out. And he's also Canadian. So
Ooh, that's
Isn't-
a weakness?
Hold on,
Yeah,
isn't
Canadians are
softy on the
kind.
inside and Canadian the same thing?
yeah.
In
She
respect,
doesn't have many weaknesses.
in
so she
respect
had to
though,
come
being
up
a
with
large
something.
human, all of the Arizona sports tributes are large humans.
Well,
Josh Rojas is
the
not.
baseball players are tall.
Josh
That's
Rojas
fair.
is scrappy.
Yeah,
So is
the-
Chris
the-
Paul. He's only 6 foot.
Yeah, the baseball players aren't the
But
largest.
they're taller on skates.
Yeah,
So-
That's
that's
true.
true.
Skates don't work in the wilderness.
And
though.
there's
That's-
something to be
What
said
if
about
what if the arena is ice?
Oh,
see,
fair enough.
a hockey enforcer fights so much more often than like an actual professional fighter. What do they have? Like 2, 3, 4 fights a year? A hockey player does it 82 nights a year, pretty consecutively.
Yeah.
The problem is if the hockey player doesn't have a shirt to pull over the guy's head, it becomes less
Ooh,
effective.
shade. I feel like the only large
Are,
ones are
they
the hockey
shirtless in
players.
Hunger Games? I don't know how
I
that
don't
works.
know.
He'll
maybe
figure
it's a
out something.
Maybe it's a strategy.
He'll figure something out.
All right. Well, I have my other tribute, and it's the Coyotes enforcer this year. It's Liam O'Brien. He leads the NHL as a whole in fights. He leads the team in penalty.
NHL in fights.
Leads NHL
Yeah.
in fights.
Yes.
That's a legit stat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He has
I
the
love
most
NHL.
fighting majors in the NHL this year. Epic beard. I just somehow that's to his advantage. I
Sure.
take that
Somehow.
Camouflage,
Dude,
natural camouflage.
Yeah, fourth line bruiser. I mean, his literal role every night is to go out and be an enforcer. So he's already in that mindset nightly. Weaknesses, he's a family man, he has a fiance, and he's also Canadian. So
This is an attack on Canada.
well, I'm
From a
Canadian.
Canadian.
I'm
Sorry,
Canadian, so I
Canada.
can do it.
no.
Canada,
I know.
Canadians are so nice. They say sorry for everything.
But they say sorry.
Are you worried? Wow.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Are you worried that
Sorry.
the tanking will kind of
Yeah.
find its way into the Hunger Games here, though, too?
No.
Okay.
They're on the Coyotes, so they can't get too
If
far.
they're already like miserable. Well, excuse me. They already are like miserable from losing so much, so they're ready
Yeah,
for
they're
the
ready
environment.
They're ready to fight.
I feel like
Yeah.
future
Alright.
considerations
They
should
have
have
so
definitely
much
The
been
odds
better.
are
rage to
stacked.
take
The
out on
odds are
people.
stacked against them in the Hunger Games.
They literally have so much internal rage from being on such a miserable team. I bet they go in there and just destroy everybody. Wouldn't you?
Well, then the Diamondbacks would be doing pretty well, too.
Yeah,
in this,
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, those were our tributes for the Hunger Games. I'm very impressed with everybody's creativity. I feel like you guys made strong cases for each of your tributes. I feel like I should leave this decision up to the public, and you guys should tell us who you think is going to win the Hunger Games with the 2 tributes
I
from
win.
each district.
Can I throw one out from a district that I think deserves to be represented here? That we
Sure.
didn't? The Mercury. Diana Taurasi
That's fair.
would probably end
Yeah.
everybody.
Yes. Very
Can
true.
confirm. Yes. That's,
Diana Taurasi is a fantastic nomination from the Mercury. So, in the spirit of letting you all decide, because I am pro-democracy, I will post
And pro murder.
and pro-murder. I will post.
Pro-democracy murder, yes.
I will post these on our Twitter account. So make sure you're following us on Twitter at PHNX_sports. And you can weigh in and tell us which 2 tributes you think would emerge victorious from the PHNX Hunger Games. I'll put up a poll there. You can vote. Or you could also tell us who you think we missed or who would have made a better tribute. And we will let you know. who wins next week on the PHNX Sports Podcast. But now I'm really interested in nominating PHNX employees
To kill each other.
Of course you want this chaos. She's like the Joker.
Yeah, this is.
I love it. I love this chaos. And I will
Terrifying.
say I'm going into this very, very vindictive and angry because not only was there
prepared.
an
I'm
employee
so happy
draft,
that we're on this side of the room.
No. There was an employee draft not on one
God.
podcast,
Oh,
but
God.
2
We're in
podcasts.
trouble.
And I
We're
was not
first.
drafted in a single one of them. And I have been harboring the anger of being left
Whoa.
out of these two drafts this entire time. And I am so salty about it. So now this is how I exact my
Now she's
revenge
like,
on
you gotta
all of
kill
you.
each other.
I get
Hold
left
on,
off the draft
Can I
too?
explain? As your boss, I didn't feel like it was right for me to draft you and make everybody else jealous. I didn't want to. I didn't want to
Right,
appear to be.
right.
Is that why you didn't draft
Right.
me either?
Yes. Yes. I didn't
Okay.
draft anybody.
I don't accept that
Somebody
as an
gave me my
excuse.
list.
Okay, so we're gonna pick PHNX employees who we think could win the Hunger Games, and I'm going first because I make the rules and this is my show.
Mm.
My tribute is Kirsten Susel because
What?
Kirsten is outdoorsy. She is so resourceful. This
Yeah.
girl spends
Yeah.
every weekend in nature.
Yeah.
She knows how to camp. She knows how to live off the land. And I feel like Kirsten is like low-key just like me and just like harbors like a lot of rage underneath her.
She definitely.
And
does.
I feel like if you piss her off, she is going to literally murder someone. And I know for a fact that she takes boxing classes, so she could literally beat all of you
So
up.
she's preparing for this, is what
Are
you're
we
saying.
choosing
Yes.
someone to kill us?
No,
or
you're
like
ju-
just to
Well, yeah,
survive
well,
the Hunger
no,
Games?
to
If you
win.
get
I
nominated,
feel like
then
it's like
yes,
Susan
that's-
Avenger to kill everybody
Yeah.
else, part of the panel.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going with Kirsten. I definitely go with Kirsten. Kirsten
good
is my tribute because that girl can fight and she's resourceful and she's very nature and she would win the Hunger Games. So
Based on
Kirsten's
this-
my tribute.
Based on this conversation, I feel like we need to be investing in a mental health plan
Yeah.
for the company.
That's later. This
Yeah.
is still a good topic.
Or just
though.
have more in-depth drafts.
I genuinely feel like Kirsten is Katniss Everdeen reincarnated, and she would win the Hunger Games
The
if we were to have
reincarnated.
one.
All right.
So Kirsten is
Wow.
my
That's
tribute.
not a bad. I like that pick. I'm gonna go with Saul Bookman.
Oh,
Mostly because he's not
You guys
in
are
here right
handy.
now.
He's kowtowing.
You guys are
right
handing me a
now.
dub here.
He is- Now, I'm just saying Saul because he has military experience. He's a drill sergeant. And Saul takes no prisoners. Saul, he's very mean to me all the time. Like, so
You
Saul's
are
about
lucky
to
he's
come in
on
this room.
that other show.
everybody else is so nice. Right. I waited until he left so I could do this because it's both a compliment and a personal attack. But yeah, he just has a different level of anger. And I think that he would do anything it takes to win.
I
to
think
survive.
that's a good pick.
Wow.
That is, his military experience is good.
Yeah.
That's a good pick
Yeah.
to draft him.
You know, I was gonna go a different route because I thought this guy wasn't gonna be here when it was my turn, but I'm going with Frank. Like,
That's a good
I
pick.
feel like
Okay.
the
Man.
size, the strength, like the closest, obviously, to any of the former athletes that we had or athletes. And I feel like he can be sneaky nice, which I think he could use that to
He's
his.
like a MIKAL.
Yeah,
He can
like
be
he can
like
100%
Alliance.
use that to his advantage. And then when he wants to, he can just kind of like snap your neck.
The,
You know,
the
like
danger is Speedo Jackson could show up. And that could derail everything.
I don't know. That might be an advantage.
Make it more interesting. That's for sure.
give me Frank 100%.
Yeah,
Easy dub.
You know, I will say this about Frank. We don't even know what he does and knows. Sometimes when you see Frank post on Facebook, it's like all of a sudden he's at a Taekwondo tournament and you're like, is Frank in it? Is he just there watching? What is he doing there?
None of your tributes have the survival skills like mine does, though. So I don't
Mine
know.
survived in the NFL.
I mean, yeah,
like outdoorsy nature skills.
Kirsten's definitely gonna like outlast everybody as far as like waiting for everything to die down. But much like yourself, I think she might be a fan of murder too. So I mean, that might help her out as far as the
I'm
killing
not
goes.
passing that judgment.
All right, Espo, who's your PHNX tribute?
Leah was on my list. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
because again, very much comes off as the kind, gentle. But I feel like Leah could be very strategic, and she is one of the fastest to learn things I've ever met in this business. So she was on my list, but then I remembered weakness: Canadian.
Yes,
Nice.
which Canadian is a weakness.
Right.
We need that on a shirt, by the way. Weakness,
Weakness
Canadian.
Canadian. Yep.
And she can wear that. I think this is tough. but I think I'm gonna have to go Lindsay.
Yes,
Lindsay
I
Smith
knew you were gonna
from
pick
our-
Lindsay.
from our show. I mean, she grew up in southern Arizona, which
The Wild West.
may not be the wilderness, but it's rough in and of itself.
Wow.
Oh, maybe the first
Your
mom.
mom
My
came
mom
for
would
you.
come
Dead on
first.
arrival.
My
My daughter would be the first to go.
Dead on
Matt's
arrival.
mom woke up and chose violence for sure
Mom,
today.
I could survive. Are you kidding me? That is rude.
Yeah.
She's all without her cell phone? Doubt it.
My mom just selling me out. Jeez.
So Lindsay, I mean, if you've ever watched the Sun show, she's got this stealth, like she acts like, oh, I'm giving everybody flowers, I'm Miss Nice. She will cut your throat in 2 seconds, and you don't even know that it's happened, right? It's unbelievable the precision at which she does it. So I think she would. I think she has all these skills that we've talked about, and will end it quickly for a lot of people.
Lindsay's also very mysterious. Sometimes when I go to things, I don't expect to see people like from here. Then all of a sudden, Lindsay's there. It doesn't matter the
I don't
the
need to know.
genre of music or no. Well, yeah. I mean, some of the time.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
I can't get over that Mac's mom's just like, yeah, she's dead.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
She wouldn't laugh.
Dead on arrival.
Yeah,
On arrival.
Not even like she's
Like,
not even
wouldn't make
giving
it
me
to the
some
cornucopia.
time.
Would be like.
She's like, she's gonna
Trips
show
and
up
falls
with
on
her
a
6
rock.
suitcases.
You guys are the worst.
Your mom did it. We didn't
Compound
do it.
fracture right away. And then she'll
Your
just
mom
off.
didn't draft you right there.
Right.
Matt comes saying R.I.P. Makayla. Yeah. Okay. All right, Leah. Who is your PHNX employee tribute?
Okay, so I was gonna say Lindsay also, but since Lindsay is already taken, I'm gonna say Petey because I feel like he is like such a ball of like anxious energy that he would just like get stuff done. I feel like he would keep to himself and kind of disappear, so he'd be like the last one standing. And you know, I feel like he has nature skills. He's from Minnesota, so I don't know. I feel like Petey's my pick.
I feel like Petey gives me energy where it's like if somebody came out as like a serial killer and like on the breaking news we saw like Petey murders like 8 people in Arizona, we would be like,
God, you
oh,
think
that
about
kinda
this
makes
too
sense.
much.
She does.
Yeah, but like,
All
I
the time.
kind of agree.
Yeah.
But
like,
I kind
he
of
gives me,
agree.
like,
Yeah.
he gives me like undercover serial killer energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do.
my
In the
God.
best
Right.
way. That's a compliment.
I know what she's saying though. Like sometimes there's just those people where like if that happened, you'd be
You'd
like,
oh,
yeah. I mean, that's crazy. But
like,
yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense.
He is from Minnesota, which is the angry Canada. Let's
Sure.
It
be
is the
honest.
angry
Sure.
Canada. Yes, Minnesota
Yeah,
is.
but-
angry
So is that a
Canada.
weakness?
No, that's
No, that's
It's
a.
angry. It's Canada,
It's
but
like
angry.
it's like
Ah,
they're
angry
deceptive.
Canada.
You know.
It's like he's got everything that was these Canadian guys had, plus the anger of America.
Got you.
I could see it. I
Plus the
totally could
anger.
see it. You know, so I like Petey too much to say I could see him being a serial killer, but
I love
you know,
Petey.
I think
Petey
he
is
could.
the
I
best.
think he could be strategic and win a.
This
Hunger
is the
Games.
best podcast I've ever been
Yeah.
on.
Also, I
Talking
think,
about which one of our coworkers are serial killers.
I think some
potentially.
people still owe PD money from the squares. So if he's, you know,
Yeah, if he is
if
like
he
that,
is a
you might
serial
wanna-
killer,
I'm one of those people.
just, you know,
Yeah,
pay up.
pay up.
I'm so confident in my tribute. I think Trista would murder everybody. So
Is there like a paddleboard and a dog involved? Because that's the
Exactly.
only nature
Oh,
photos
No,
I see.
he's not
fired at
wrong.
that.
That was my thought the whole
Wow.
time.
at least I didn't pick our GM because I wanted bonus points.
Oh no, I pick our GM because he terrifies me. That's why I picked our GM.
The military experience definitely
Yeah,
that's
like,
good.
is a
I
big
thought
attribute.
this through.
I think you guys have undervalued me because
No,
Yeah, Lindsay
yeah.
is a
You
good
specifically
pick.
or
me-
Lindsay?
No, me
Oh.
specifically. not-
No.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
been correctly
No,
valued.
yeah, I'm a little mad I didn't get selected myself, but it
I
makes
think
a
you
lot
are
of sense
DOA
too.
just like I am.
Yeah.
I think Derek would be an interesting choice here. Like if we're
I
if we're
would
looking at the
run
panel,
around screaming and crying the whole
no,
time.
you go with the strategy of if you don't think you can win the fight, act like the craziest guy there,
Yes.
and nobody will mess
Yeah.
with you, right?
Yeah, whatever. That's my entire thing here. So of course that's how I would go.
Your wardrobe might give you away though, because with
Not
the,
great camouflage.
with your usual shirts, you couldn't hide it
I'm trying.
anywhere.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
so-
you're right about
Oh
that.
my
But he
gosh.
does. I mean, he does survive covering the Diamondbacks. So
He does.
That's
similar
true.
to like AJ Green. Like,
Thank you.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's about time I've been given credit
Yeah.
for making this off season specifically. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
If you're in the comments and you're listening right now, let us know which one of our PHNX employees tributes you think would win. I'm so interested to know. Bees, Mac, my mom.
Hashtag Frank for the win.
I know my mom doesn't think I'm going to win. Fine.
It's all.
If you're in the comments, let us know which PHNX employee you think is going to win. Because I think we've all presented pretty solid arguments. I also definitely get like undercover serial killer vibes from Lindsay. Like I feel like she just harbors so much rage underneath this like sweet exterior that I feel like if you make her snap, she would just lose it.
Well, and she could pretend to be Cheerston at some point because people can.
That's true. What if Cheerston and Lindsay formed like a super team and just like ran around and you didn't know which one was which?
I love bees. Great team building exercise. Yeah.
We all really do love each other.
This is what our lunches are like when we all get together. By
Which
the
one
way.
do you think could kill each of us? Huh? Yeah, what do you think?
Bee's asking, where do Sean and Totri fit into all of this? I think
sure.
Totri's DOA like I am. I think Sean would
Wow.
also be able to survive maybe like a day. As soon as one of Sean's outfits got dirty, I think he would self-eliminate.
I think if Sean and I were on a team with our level of confidence, I think we could win. Like with our level of oh yeah.
The biggest problem right there is we could win. There is no.
Okay, we would have to
attitude
form
for
an
this.
alliance because there's no way either one of us could win without the other.
Right.
My size and just Sean, like it'd have to be a
This
team.
isn't
combo?
who's the swaggiest at PHNX,
Correct.
all right? You guys would win that, but I don't
Hold
know.
on, Shane would win that, but
Hold on.
let's just
Let's
get
be-
it straight.
Shane had some
would
odd
be-
shorts on.
Shane would be a good selection.
Yeah.
Shane would.
No.
Yeah, Shane.
Shane?
Yeah, Shane.
She doesn't know which is right or
Is that
left.
mustache not
Exactly.
creepy enough for you? You don't want to get close to the mustache, right?
Oh, God. All right. Well, it might not seem like it right now, but we really are a family.
Thank you, Bees. Appreciate that.
Oh.
It's okay. Tune into the PHNX Sun Devil show where that's all it is.
Mac having more confidence in me than my mom does. He thinks I could win based off of rage alone.
That's no.
Thank you, Name Twin. I appreciate the confidence that
Rage
you have in me
alone.
that my own mother doesn't. Thanks for throwing me under the bus, Mom.
You know, you did survive in that car that you drove for years, which was a death trap in and of itself.
That is so true.
So maybe.
That is a fantastic point. For those of you that don't know, I drove around the biggest death trap of a vehicle for years. Literally, I got in it and prayed that I would make it to my destination every single time I drove that thing.
Your
She
make
did-
and model.
She just made it very clear that
It
she
was-
said she had to pray every time she got it. She was scared.
Wow.
So
It was
I
a
don't know.
2002 Ford Escape with 200,000 miles
Escape.
on it, and it broke every 3 months like clockwork. And it wasn't like minor breakage. I was literally driving on the 202, and my brakes went out. All 4 of my brake lines were gone.
You survived a car. I
Yes.
survived Indiana
that's
for
a good
years.
point.
You know how tough that is? That's tough. South Bend, Indiana.
And again, like Espo pointed out, you said you prayed every time you got in the car. That was a lack of conviction. You didn't,
Because
like,
I didn't
you
have any
didn't own it.
control over
You
my
you were
destiny.
putting your
didn't
faith in
believe.
someone else's hands.
I didn't have any
and just
control over my
taking it
destiny. If
yourself.
my car decided to die on me in the middle of the highway, I probably would have died. All right.
How many times a
Again,
day
that's
do you
not the
think of
moxie
death?
you're looking for?
More than I should.
Yikes.
It's a whole other
PHNX
podcast.
Over
Death
under
Show.
6.5.
Over for sure.
my
I promise. Please take me off the watch list. I promise I'm not an actual murderer.
South Bend, Indiana versus 4
broken brakes.
I win.
All right. Well, it might not seem like it, but we really are a family, and we want you to join our family. So if you haven't signed up to be a member, you can get scintillating content like this, which I think is the best content available, in my very unbiased opinion. So make sure you head over to gophnx.com and sign up to be a member. You can get your first month for only 50 cents, or if you sign up for an annual membership, you can get a free t-shirt. Derek has our Diamondbacks shirt on.
right.
Espo's got our brand new Phoenix Rising shirt on,
That's
which is
a beautiful one.
super sick. So go check those out on the PHNX locker. You can just buy a shirt. You don't have to be a member. But if you do become a member, you get a ton of great perks like written content that you can only access if you are a member. Our members only Discord where we're all in and you can chat sports with all of us or whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be sports. It can be murder.
apparently
I'll
death.
talk to you about
We're
murder.
gonna have to add a murder channel to
Yeah.
it.
I think we should.
By the way, the beat that sells the fewest shirts the first one up for the PHNX Hunger Games. You're gonna have to
Oh,
send your tribute in.
jeez.
So,
Oh.
so I think these two are gonna be fighting it out
That's
here.
gonna be-
Yeah, no kidding.
Give us
We'll
another
team up.
shirt. Yeah, we'll team up. Right. Oh, that's good.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for our inaugural Hunger Games. This was amazing. Like I said, I'm gonna put all of these
on me right now.
I'm gonna put all of these tributes up on Twitter, so make sure you're following us on Twitter so you can vote and tell us which tributes you think would win. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being in the comments and watching along. You guys are the best too, and we will see you next week.